set up for that. And after the match, well, the Bucks give them a show of respect, hand them the belts. You're sort of feeling maybe that the idea of the Young Bucks being heels is coming, that the Young Bucks being heels, the idea of it is coming to an end. I just wanted to make sure my grammar was sound, and it was. So they leave without any more nonsense. You know, the fact that they're doing Kenny Omega moves also might be an indication of something. You know, Kenny's getting restless now, you know. Oh, you know, he's going to show up at a New Japan Strong show in a couple of weeks. Oh, yeah, he's going to be at the Wrestle Dynasty match, the show, I should say, in Japan in January. You know, we're getting back there. We're getting back there. Are we slowly getting rid of the idea of the Young Bucks being these evil administrators, right? These evil authority figures. Are we slowly getting rid of that, right? Because they've been shown to be fearful of what Jon Moxley and crew are doing, you know, being cowardly leaders. Now, if Moxley, this is something I hadn't really thought about, but it's become a little more apparent, and I feel they're starting to try to fix this. You'll see what I mean in a second. If Moxley, a heel, is doing things to shake the establishment of AEW, and the establishment is represented by a pair of heels as well, then you're like, well, okay, go. Who cares? Like, who do I cheer for here? You know, it's like, you're not going to side with the Bucks if the Bucks are heels. You're not going to side with Jon Moxley if he's like, what are we doing here? It doesn't quite make sense. So, you know, the fact that the Bucks are cowardly and taking a powder, I think that might be a sign, but it seemed to be more of a strategic retreat than actually them being afraid. And the little show of respect here might be showing that maybe they're going to be good guys again. Maybe they're slowly transitioning back to being baby faces, or at least that we need to get rid of the idea of them being EVPs and being in control, because Jon Moxley's group is going to be in control, and they're heels, and they're the worst heels. They're the most despicable heels in the company right now. So you can't have this clash of two authority figures, both being heels, you know, like, and even if you want to bring out an argument saying, oh yeah, but Jon Moxley is such a heel that even the heels are afraid of him. It's like, yeah, but still, that's not compelling. It's still not compelling in the case of the Bucks, which has always been a goofier angle. It's never been very serious. It's always been, at least from the moment they did the TK driver on Tony Khan. From that moment on, it was just much goofier. It wasn't a serious authority figure thing. It was just like goofy. And again, just goes to show that authority figures in pro wrestling as characters, you know, right, of course, they never work. There's always reasons, clear reasons as to why it becomes awful and cringe and has these tremendous logic gaps as well, right? So it's like, stop. They don't work. Again, more proof to that authority figure angles just do not work. Then we see the Young Bucks exiting the arena kind of in a panic with Scrap Daddy Christopher Daniels cutting them off, trying to get them to stay. But you know, he says, you know, we can't do it without you. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like this, see, this is probably the thing that unnerved me the most, because the whole idea is that Christopher Daniels was put into position, into power, I should say, as an interim EVP to counteract the Bucks and their crazy ass decisions. Now they're taking a powder. Now they're hitting the bricks. And Daniels is like, where are you guys going? We need you here. I'm like, what? No, this doesn't make any sense. This makes zero sense. You see what I mean? Authority figure angles in pro wrestling are always going to end up into these situations where logic just doesn't matter, where we just forget everything we were talking about, everything we were setting up, everything we were doing. It's so frustrating. It's annoying. Why would Christopher Daniels, who has had to deal with the Bucks and their poor decisions, and why would he be like, no, you guys have to stay? This is why I think they're trying to make us think that this might be this might be the seeds to a face turn from the Bucks. Slowly. I know they said, oh, we're going to work from home, which is a very heel thing to say, and I thought that was really funny. But, the little mark of respect, look, I don't know. I hope we put this. See, this right now, the EVP authority figure thing has to die. You have to put it out of its misery, take it out back. It's done. Put a fork in it. Finito. It's ice it. Put it on ice. We're good. It's just nothing but logic holes and frustration is what it is, if you're paying attention.